There's no finality on what drives voter behavior during elections. But in Ghana, identity politics has been tagged as a key determinant of election results. Therefore, political parties in their selection of presidential candidates and running mates attempt to meet an ethnic and sometimes religious blend. Ahead of the 2020 polls, the NPP maintained Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is believed to have greatly influenced the votes of the NPP in the northern part of the country. The party beat the NDC in the northeast region and increased its votes marginally in the Savannah and northern regions. Prior to the election, his evolution as a technocrat who had metamorphosed quite well to fit into the political space was admired by many.
We set about the task of restoring our macroeconomic stability, improving the economic growth, and bringing prosperity to Ghanaians. Interestingly, and by the grace of God, when the ballot numbering came, NPP is number 1, NDC is number 2. If you choose NPP, you are going to take a step forward. If you choose NDC, you are taking 2 steps backward.
The NDC, however, settled on Professor Nana Jane Agyemang after media reports had projected other personalities. It was a historic choice for proponents of women empowerment, as this was the first time a major political party was selecting a female as running mate.
Making history is gratifying, but what really matters is not to be the first through the door. What matters is to hold that door open for those behind us. What matters is to create other avenues for self-actualization for many more. That is the work of the next 4 years.
The professional backgrounds of the two came under scrutiny in the heat of the campaigns. Professor Nana Jane Agyemang's selection appeared to have been a shift from recent appointment of economists as running mates. Her handling of the educational sector as a sector minister under the Mahama administration was criticized. These, coupled with Dr. Bawumia's handling of the economy, took center stage in the measuring of their competences.
Let it not again be forgotten that Professor Nana Agyemang had been a teacher herself before she came to the position of Minister of Education. And yet, it was during her period that classroom teachers were denied common chalk to be able to write on blackboards. And we all remember the infamous saying, "We didn't give you chalk today or tomorrow." Perhaps the worst thing that can be associated with her name was the Muntie 3 saga. Indeed, her ardent anti-feminist position was too obvious to ignore when she appended her signature to the petition to have the trio, who had then been incarcerated at Nsawam, be freed against sound advice from well-meaning Ghanaians.
The NDC was adding an average of 1.15 billion to our public debt every month, and a total of about 13 billion a year. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is adding 3 billion a month. 3 billion a month and 36 billion a year. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, if you were owing a bank 36 billion and they ask you to come and beg them, so they reduce it to 36, from 36 billion to 13.6 billion. Will you still accept 36 billion or you accept 13 billion?
The two were, however, resolute in their quest to capture political power.
Yemra John Dramani Mahama, Okaso Cisco, si anonsi. Osi ye. Okasa Obesi Hospital, osi anonsi. Okaso Obesi E-Blocks, osi anonsi. Okaso Obe Interchange, oya anonye. Okaso Obesi Factory, Commander Sugar Factory, ene efu. Oya yana so wanye. Aha, ena otichemu. Ana no man odipete Ghana he nyina. Sana de na sese ye kono. Na esu obia so nkakra. Sana ye no.
When the former president came here in the middle of the night, he came he came here and said that the MPP government has ignored the B-Mobiles. Didn't he say that? That the MPP government has ignored the B-Mobiles. Can he tell us what he did for the B-Mobiles in 8 years? 8 years. Did he do the Bunkurugu Nalergu road? Did he do the town roads? Did he provide the water? Did he provide the electricity to our villages? Stop the Munafiki politics. Stop the tribal politics. As a former president, we expect you to rise above that type of politics.
From forums to campaign rallies, they engage Ghanaians all in attempts to sell their messages.
What we have started, we haven't finished. But by the grace of God, in another 2 to 3 years' time, we are going to see all of these developments coming together, and Ghana will be one of the most modern economies on the face of the African continent. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Let's stick with this government. Let's stick with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Ehenia manifesto mliesi ebeye TVET. Yabeshem kena. Osana ehenia ze technical university bay. Misenti woho. Ehenia manifesto mliesi primary education or start with primary school. Yabo shogoyi. Ehenia manifesto mliaka de double track yaba abolish onyazoko. Inti onyehenia kade agric no. It cannot just be food and agriculture. It should also be agribusiness.
Even though the two candidates toured all parts of the country, they both focused in their respective home regions. Some believe this may have accounted for the NDC's performance in the central region in the parliamentary race and the NPP's performance in the northern part of the country in the presidential election.